Hi, it's time for one of James' video diary entries of the day. Today is Saturday, June 27th, 2026. Feeling quite lost. I got my truck resupplied for next week's excursion. I got a doctor's appointment on Monday for my CPAP. That's going to be probably a 15-minute deal, and it's going to cost the money, but I have the money. And I need the CPAP to keep my my DOT med card, so I can keep my CDL. My Jeep, it's paid for. I got some brake parts I got to put on. It's just been a little hot, and I'm a little lazy. I've noticed I'm starting to get a little lazy. I'm starting to get used to air conditioning where I never used to have it. I'm also kind of fat. Yeah, I've noticed I'm not walking as much. I'm not nearly as active as I once was. I'm graying out. I know I'm not going to find a lover. Not one that's going to meet my criteria. Not saying my standards are high by any means. It's not that they're not high either. So that when I try to do things, I do it pedestrianly, because I know that 85% of life is pedestrian. And one wayward event, given the history of my training and the way I think, I mean, if I get pissed off to the point where I'm going to harm someone, I generally walk away. So I walked away from the tools. So I turned down multi-million-dollar opportunities. I mean, you can't just, there's no apology for that. And it's not like they can be held accountable. Not the way I've never been able to do it. Every time I try, people say, "Oh my God, you're such a baby." Well, motherfucker, you hold me accountable. If you don't want to be held accountable at least 80% of the time, I mean, you hold me accountable 90 to 95%, and you wonder why I'm so hard on myself. Well, fuck, I can't catch a break. When I needed something, I asked for it. That's why I'm here. That's how just the inception of this channel, the whole purpose was to crowdsource therapy, because a lot of environmental factors in my life, it's at the point where I'm now looking to find a place to live, trying to get out of the truck so I can get headhunted by something local, so that I can start building a life. Now that I have experience, the place I'm working for, it's not super bad. There are bad actors. There are people who are more competent than they ordinarily act. And honestly, if you're competent but you don't act, you might as well be fucking incompetent, in my view. I mean, if you've been doing this for 20, 30 years and you're acting like a dumbass, you can't figure out why you kept getting bad results. You keep getting them because you keep doing dumb shit. Just like me, when I was young, I learned. I overmarketed myself before. Then I had to get pee-pee slapped for it. Then I ended up having to learn the skills. But at the point where my personal life, I can't control the pieces that I need to control for me to be a stable human being, I can't maintain a business, let alone propagate one. I know how to run one. That's easy. Does it suck? Well, absolutely, but it's technically not difficult. In my personal life, it's not that I don't have a few bucks in my pocket right now. I do. I don't have anyone to go home to. And everybody tries to use their value system and force me into using their system, rather than saying, yes, I understand you're different. I understand that a long-term situation is not something you can walk out to Walmart and just go pick off the shelf. It's just not going to happen that way. it's going to have to take time. You ask people for pedestrian things, we don't understand. I didn't ask us for a date, I asked you for a date. It's you and me against the world. How many fucking people are you? 4 or 5? You literally can't be alone? As an old man, if I accidentally walk up on a woman, I'll probably breathe heavy. Partially because I'm a fat guy, and partially because I don't want them to not know I'm there. Because I get a bit of sneak and creep. Just part of how I operate. Like Delta, you can't... If the enemy knows your possession, you can't... you're gonna have... It's gonna make things way harder. It's a hobby for some of the people I grew up being mentored by. I've never served. Even when I was a younger man, in my teens, when I made that deal with my baby mama, she didn't cover her end, and she decided that I have to cover mine without, love her and Bryson, same thing, didn't cover her end. She swore blind, but when it was her turn to step up, she couldn't even do the pedestrian shit. She wanted just a blank check and just trust. And dude, I did that once. And every time I see that, every time I see that sort of thing, it does not end well for me. The person in my shoes it doesn't, 99 times out of 100, it doesn't end well. I've had people try to force me into taking them, and I'm like, ain't no way in hell you're going to force me. The minute you make yourself the only choice, down to 2 choices, walk away or take you, I walk away. Now, truth. When women ask me, what do you want me to do? Bitch, if you were a woman, you'd know that if you were that sorry, you'd say, I'm sorry. Do you have that position open in your life? If you do, I have the same thing. I'm willing to give you a shot if you're willing to give me one. And we'll do it on our own merits. Yeah, they don't work like that. And I don't want to sign someone up for a debt they didn't make that they'll never be able to clear. Because they'll always get deeper. That's the way it is. It's human nature. Even mine. I don't use the tools so much anymore, not because I don't love them. When I had to walk away, I cried for months. It was inconsolable. I was angry. Spent 30 years of your life working with them. You have to walk away because you cannot hold people accountable for their actions, Gila. I'm sorry 3,000 times in a month. You're not fucking sorry. You won't let me make you fucking sorry. Because you don't want your life to fucking suck. You want to control. And when I need control, I tried building myself. That's why I think my dad was a great technical education teacher. But as far as a man, he was not much of a man. Because if he'd have been a man, he stood up to his wife. He would have told my mom, hey, look, you fucked up. Get the fuck out of that kid's life. You're not fucking doing it right. And every time he builds something, we fuck it up. And you wonder why he's fucking angry? Are you fucking ignorant? Or are you just obstinate and want to have this man kill you? Do you want to take this man away from his children? Do you want... Because that's exactly what happened. She took me away from my daughter. She chose to side with my baby mom. Oh, she had a baby. Well, she committed fraud to have that baby. The fuck she teach that baby? My daughter tried to extort me to see grandchildren, real or imagined. Wouldn't matter. I mean, you see it in Texas. These youngins where they don't get what they want, they go knife you. Oh, it's somebody's a bad guy. The fuck, man? He was an honest person. or she, in some cases, they were honest people. They wanted to make an honest deal. And, you know, you're going to have to, at some point, as a society, face it. As a man, I have to face it. I'd look at the anger in the eyes. I look in the abyss. I don't have the dreams as much as I used to. And even when I do, they don't have the power they once did. A lot of the people are not dead. Not my hand. Just cancer and life and anonymity. I mean, I ask for people and it's more of a, well, you gotta do it my way. Why? What about your way? Why does it have to be your way? Because you literally can't lose? And you literally have to fuck me over to make sure you win? Mine is not to fuck you over. Mine is simply to prove that when the hell breaks loose, if I screamed an instruction at you, you know, you're gonna fucking do it. Because I'm not gonna scream, get down gun for fucking funsies. If we're getting shot at, I want you to hit the dirt. If you're gonna try to volunteer me for something, ask me if I have the ability to do it. Because I may be shit shot. Then you volunteer me for something asinine. And then when it's your turn, oh, I'm too tired. Oh, I wanted to watch cat videos. You don't know how many times that's happened to me. You don't know how many times women have just said, well, now you have a history with me. And you want to pretend that history didn't exist? Now, for you, the history probably was fine. What happened to the history on the other side? Is that something that I should have to tolerate? Should I have to tolerate abuse by my significant other? Now, if I offered to do it, fine. But at the same point, if you didn't have the history when I offered, and you turned me down multiple times, you want to assume that didn't take place? You want to pretend there's no consequence for that? How the fuck do I win on that one? Where's my upside? The upside is that I know that at some point you will piss me off to the point I will kill you. I will beat on you. I'll make the attempt at killing you, and you'll be horrifically fucking maimed and survive? How the hell is that supposed to make me feel good? I mean, did you fucking think that far ahead? I mean, honestly, I don't think these people think that far ahead. I see it in traffic, too. I've seen people try granted, I helped them pull it off because I didn't want to ruin my day because somebody risked their life and their equipment for 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Honey, there ain't too many strangers that ain't worth 3 seconds. Complete strangers, utter complete strangers, including me. I mean, I'm worth 3 seconds of my own time. If that means I have to run slower. I mean, I cuss and swear in a cab now and again when I see things that are horrific. When I see people do things that are, I just find it ignorant that they would try to, that they would try to cut off a semi that weighs as much as a locomotive engine. A semi is not a Honda Civic, man. It's like being a mechanic. You should do it for free. What the fuck are you doing for me for free? Gas free? I mean, can you go to the gas station and, but I didn't think I did. How the fuck are you gonna fill your gas tank with that? How you pay your insurance? Your cell phone? You may watch this at the library. Library, you can have they do have media. At least they used to. I mean, I appreciate it. If these are not taxi doors, these are ears. If there's something that you see that I'm missing, that I'm nose blind to, that I'm continuing to ruminate about, that's what the comment section's for. At least I hear anyway. I read every one I can. I appreciate being with me. life's changing. I just don't know how. And I don't see it getting better, but I'm not seeing exactly anything weird. Have a good one.